Okay. Welcome back to Hawg Designs, and today we're going to be putting together our Beekeepers Collect Cottage, the fold-out mini journal, or it's actually an accordion journal. And I have already cut out all of my pieces. I've pre-inked the edges, and I've already done some folding of the pieces, but I'll show you what you will need to do. For supplies, you're going to need a glue of your choice. I prefer the art glitter glue. For me, it dries very quickly, and I really love it. I used a brown colored ink. This is chocolate brown, and it's just an acid-free ink. You'll need a hole punch for the tags to put ribbons and such in. And also included in the kit is some decorative papers that you could choose to print on the back side of your tags and things, or you can cut them out and glue them on, or you know, do other things with these beautiful papers. So those are a bonus in the kit. So let's get busy and put this little gem together. So we're going to set our pockets aside. So first thing that we're going to work on is the cover itself. And so when you cut it out, you will need to fold it. And so the first fold is going to be folding it here in the middle. You're going to take this right side edge all the way up to the edge of the spine here. And so you're going to fold it together. And I finger fold it, and then I take a bone folder and I really crease in the edges on the side here. And I'm missing my bone folder for some reason, but and then the next fold you're going to do is I would unfold it and I would fold this crease here where the spine meets the front cover. Fold that over. And then you want to fold over the little tabs on the end, the A's, fold those over. And then you will fold over the inside piece, and then you're going to fold it all over like so. So now you have all your folds done on the front cover. Set that aside for a moment. And we'll do the similar thing to our back cover, wherever I put it. Right here. Right here it is. So first fold I'm going to do is this fold here, right here on the edge here where it says glue spine to A. I'm going to fold that one over first and then take my bone folder and get a nice good crease there. Then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to fold the edge up to that fold line. And then again, I'm going to get a good crease there. And I'm going to open it back up. And now I'm going to glue the two pieces together. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to glue my little tabs down. I'm going to grab my art glitter glue here, put just a little bit of glue on those tabs. These tabs will give you a little extra reinforcement for the spine. I'm going to get my images right side up so I know that I'm not going to turn them upside down. So now I'm going to glue here on this where it says glue spine to A. I'm going to put some glue here. And then I'm going to lay in my spine over that edge, lining up my edges, my top and bottom edges as well. And then I'm just going to give it a little running my finger over it to give it some good adhesion. Then I'm going to turn it back over. And now here I am going to glue this piece over. So I'm going to add some glue here. Run it over, like so. Then we'll do the same thing with this side. I'm going to add some glue over here. And fold this piece over. All right, and now we have our cover created, just like so. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. Now we're going to work on the inside pages. The inside pages, you're going to have three pages that all have these little tabs on them. So the first thing I do is I'm going to fold in my tab. Again, running that bone folder over the top of it, get a nice crease. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to fold up the other end so it meets that fold on that tab. And then I'm going to open it back up. I'm going to do that for all of the two remaining pieces. You're going to have one piece that has no tabs on it at all. But I'm going to fold all of my pieces in half. Then you're going to lay out your pages. And I want to put them in an order so that when I don't have similar designs, like I didn't want these two designs back to back. So I'm placing this yellow piece here. On the next piece, I'm going to lay this one here. And then on the final one will be our one that doesn't have tabs. And that one will go there. So I'm going to start gluing these 3 or 4 pages together. Again, I'm just going to run some glue on my tab here. Using a liquid glue will give you a little wiggle room time to move things around so you can get everything as perfect as possible. And if it's not perfect, that's fine. You'll be able to work with it. I'll lay this one in. And then we're going to put this last piece on. All right, so now I'm going to fold up my accordion, and I want my end pieces to be towards the pretty papers. And you'll see why here in a minute. I'm just, getting my edges to line up nicely, and then I'm giving it a nice, good crease so that they stay like that. Now I am ready to glue my inside pieces to my cover, but the first thing I want to make sure is that I have my orientation correct, and I don't. I have everything upside down, so I need to flip it. So now I know that my orientation is correct. Again, I should have mentioned when you're laying out your papers, make sure you have your orientation correct as well. So you want everything to be, to line up and not be upside down in your little journal. So now I'm going to grab my journal, and I'm going to elect to glue my back cover on first. You could do it either way. And I'm just kind of lining things up I'm going to pull out the rest of my accordion there so that I have room to lay everything down when it comes to that point. So now, I guess I will like, this is a neat little trick here, is to line everything up, have a nice hold on it. You could grab a little, I think I have a bullnose clip. I have everything lined up. It's going to fold nicely. And I could use my bullnose clip and hold it together. And then I can lift this up and put my glue down and then lay it down. And you'll know if you have it all lined up. But one thing you'll notice here, I'll show you after I get it glued, is that you may have to do a little trimming. Okay, so I'm just going to, you can use a variety of things to glue this. You could put double-faced tape. I call it a tearable tape because it tears, you can lay it down and it tears really nicely. But the challenge for me is getting the protective paper off. That's my challenge. So I like to use my glue. And I want to get my glue pretty close to the edge so that we don't have it doesn't want to separate on us. So now I have that where I want it. I'm going to take my clip off. I'm going to refold my pages. And that looks beautiful. You see that on this side I have just a little bit of white sticking out there, and we'll take care of that with some of our ink. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I am going to pull out my pages so that I can line up this piece. Okay, so one thing that I'm checking is I'm holding this piece down. I'm making sure that when I lift up on my cover that it's going to fold nicely. I am going to have, I can't butt this piece up right up against that edge here of the cover, because if I did, then my page isn't going to fold real nicely. And so here it's really going to be helpful to use my bullnose clip to hold that page nice and snug while I flip this page back and give it and glue it here. All right, just like that. A little glue seeped out right there to get that cleaned up quick. All right, now I can take my pages and fold them back on one another here, like so. And so now we have our little journal all created. You can take a minute and ink the edges here if you want on our journal pages. Let's grab a little more ink on my thing. I did want to catch this cover over here. I had a little hanging out on the edge. You can trim it off with your scissors if you want, but just adding a little ink sometimes just covers it up quickly and nicely. All right, there we we go. We have that done. That's all together. So now we get to do the fun part. And the fun part to me is when I get to start to decorate my journal. And so I'm going to grab my pockets. I have a variety of pockets here. And these pockets are really simple to use. You just have to glue 3 sides. You want to leave the top open so that you can tuck your little tags and ephemera pieces inside. And so now I'm going to take a little time and I'm going to figure out where I'm going to place each of my pockets so that they kind of coordinate together. Sometimes I grab just some clips and kind of clip them on as I'm putting it together. I can rearrange them if I don't quite like where they're at. So this is the time you can take to figure out where you're going to place things. All right, I think I have them kind of figured out where I'm going to put them. And so I'm just going to, this is my top edge. I'm going to slip it over and I'm going to apply glue right to the edge on 3 sides. And I'll do that with all of my little pockets. And again, what I've done is I pre-inked all of my edges. You can choose to do that if you like. It's not a requirement. It just gives, for me, it just gives an extra little feel. It finishes it off a little more, I think. Just one more here to do. And then we get to continue on with the extra fun part, is the rest of the placing our tags into our pockets, embellishing our tags, and also embellishing the rest of the little journal. So here is what we have so far. We have our basic journal constructed, our journal pages inside, our little pockets, little tuck spots are next, and then we will finish up with decorating the outside as well as adding the rest of our ephemera pieces, tags, and things to the inside. Next, we're going to work on the rest of our ephemera pieces. And I'm just going to ink up my edges. But I think what I'm going to do, grab a decorative pair of scissors here. We're just going to scallop these edges. All right, that looks cute. I have another one here that I'm going to do the same thing. Okay. And now I'm going to ink my edges here. I have a little postcard here. I'm going to ink the edges on this as well. A few journal cards. We have some of these. I can use these for pockets. I think I got in the wrong pile earlier. So these pieces you can use for journal cards or pockets. I'm going to probably use them for pockets. Here I have a journal card that's a foldable one. Okay, And I have the last of my ephemera pieces here. My little fussy cuts. Little honey jar here. All right, I think that's everything. Let's figure out where we're going to put these goodies. I think that'll look okay. So I'm just going to grab my glue again. Get some glue on the 3 edges. Now I'm just finding homes for the rest of our journal cards and things. Here we can put this little journal card in our little note, in our little envelope. Tuck this back in here. We can put this little bee out here on the outside cover. That looks cute. I'll probably put him there. I'm just gonna paper clip him on. Kind of like that there. So let's gonna glue this down. honey jar in there. I'm going to glue my honey dipper here. You know, I just thought of something. We're going to make a tuck spot for this. I'm going to try to dry off our glue here. Set this aside while that dries. I think we're going to make a little tuck spot to put our little beehive or beekeeper in there, or our honeycomb in there. So let's look for a place for this. I think I'm just going to tuck that inside there. I could probably, let's glue this guy down here. Okay. So my idea is to glue this over, guys. Glue this here, and then maybe tuck in a honeycomb, or we can glue in or tuck in the little beekeeper as a little tuck spot. But they're both pretty big. Well, let's glue it down, and so I'm just going to put a little glue on each edge. I'll put it at a little angle here. Let that dry a bit. That looks cute like that. I can glue this guy maybe on this page. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to make a little tuck spot here. Too much. No, I don't have glue up there. Okay, let's see here. All right, I think we are about done. We're going to put our little bee here. Do we want to do something special with him? Okay, I think I decided how I'm going to decorate my cover here. I'm going to add a little lace trim to the bottom edge. I'm going to stick this little bee or flower there, and then I'm putting this bee up on here as well. And one thing that I did with my bee is that it was originally cut like this. I decided I want a little dimension to my bee, so I cut the wings apart, because one wing is in the back and the other is in the front. And then I just kind of rolled my little wings a little bit. And then we're going to stick him on here with some foam tape. So let's get these glued down here first. And because I'm going to putting fabric to paper, I'm going to use clear tacky glue. And the clear will make sure that if I have any seepage of glue, it's not going to discolor or anything like that. So I'm just applying my glue to my lace, but it's being funny. Let's try again here. It's like it's drying out or something. That's weird. All right, we're going to lay this down here. I'm just going to use my paper towel and pat any extra glue up. Then we're going to lay our little flower. Try to determine which is front and back. I think this is the front. Put him there. Okay, I'm going to put a little glue on this as well. All right, where's my little lid? Right here. Let's get that covered up. And then I'm going to put, I have a piece of foam tape that we're going to put on the back of my bee. And that's going to raise him up a little bit. And we'll lay him kind of on my flower right here. Oh my goodness, that's adorable. All right, I think we have a finished project here. So we'll do a quick little flip through so you can see everything that I've done. So we have a tag inside this pocket, we have a journal card, we have our envelope with another little journal card inside. We added a faux wax seal here, another journal card and tag. Here we created a little tuck spot with our honey jar on our pocket that we're sticking in our honeycomb in there. Another tag and journal card. Here we have a little smaller pocket and we attached the ephemera piece, this little stamp, and inside we have another stamp and another tag. Then on this page we have a smaller one of those journal or pockets as well, and we have this tag with a little dangle with a little bee on it. And then our last pocket, we have our honey dipper, and we made it a little tuck spot as well, and we stuck in our little bee skeep. And we have a postcard here and another journal card. And then our back cover. So here is our mini Beekeeper's Cottage journal. I hope you like it. If you liked this piece, I have a whole collection of other, I have 2 additional interactive projects. The first is these hidden note cards. In this packet, you're going to receive 3 different note cards that you can create the little hidden note card in the honey jar. And again, it's filled with ephemera and little pockets. This one I have some resin daisies on it to add a little extra to it. Here we have some other ephemera pieces. This has a little echinacea flower, a little bee, another journal card, and another tag. So they're all, 3 designs are different, and you can decorate them, interchange them however you like with all the ephemera pieces. And all 3 of them have the little hidden note card that just tucks down inside. So if you're would like that, that's an option. The other interactive project I have is the honeycomb, and this one folds out. Each page has a pocket filled with ephemera. Just like so. Folds up into a nice little compact folio. And then I have a 350 piece ephemera pack. So this is just a sample of some of my ephemera pieces. We have tags, little postcards, fussy cuts like our bees, and just filled with a variety of different ephemera pieces. And then I have 3 different paper packs. I have a 2-page spread that's a horizontal, so that if you are wanting to create your own junk journal, you could use that. I also have 2 vertical sets all around the honeybee and our beekeeper's cottage with that theme. So look at my website, Hawg Designs, under the collection Beekeeper's Cottage collection, and you'll find all the pieces there. Check back with me again as we create another project, which I have projects on YouTube on the note card, and we'll also have the honeycomb project there waiting for you as well. Until next time, have a great day. We'll see you soon.